Hello. Okay, something went wrong because this was supposed to be all one video, not two parts. But if you watch this part without watching the previous part, whatever, because now it's number three and what's, already a long video. But um, I don't even remember where I left off, but I was somewhere in there. I was talking about camp shirts and colors. So here, another gray one, kind of a surfy, again, kind of a borderline nautical kind of surfy kind of look, but seersucker. So again, better for your warmer months, as opposed to, more of an office chambray kind of fabric. Here, though, I know I was decrying. Is it better if I put it here instead of the shadow on my face? I was decrying kind of the pastel colors, but teal, a little more than like the sea foam you can kind of get away with. Again, with the gray here, kind of a nice complement with the navy. Kind of an alternate version of that with a more of a royal blue with a gray. And again, just another office casual shirt. But this, again, very nautical. Guys will wear it untucked. These are both long sleeve shirts. Whereas if we get into, like, say, a very office looking color shirt, Paul Frederick kind of blue with a more of a dress shirt collar. Again, more preppy, not quite beachy, but if you're doing that transition from work to weekend, you might go with this. Whereas here's a slightly more casual version with the buttons, but definitely more beach than boat. Again, with this color, similar vibe, although this one's linen. So again, when we get into June, you might want linen more than chambray. Another linen from a different company. This one has a more of a royal blue, but still blue. Again, I'm not necessarily wearing a navy shirt in the daytime, especially if I'm wearing a jacket. This is going to go better with more jackets than a really dark shirt. Obviously, I have dark shirts right here. Like, if you're doing an office look, though, you can get away with something like this with the right suit or the right jacket or whatever. But this fabric, very much more thick. This is another Paul Frederick that's, if it wasn't for the collar, I wouldn't even consider this a dress shirt because it's almost a twill. Similarly, Eddie Bauer sports shirt, very similar to some of the yellow bean ones I have. But this one almost a steel gray, but with the white and the navy, so very, very office casual / nautical. And here's another Eddie Bauer one. Instead of the green, this one has blue and black, so it has, again, this can be worn as a regular preppy shirt or as a nautical shirt, but definitely an office casual style shirt. This one, on the other hand, who did this one? I don't know, J.C. Penney or something. Oh, Tommy Hilfiger. Very more vibrant, again with the pastels, but a very similar, but except here with the spread collar, which typically I totally hate. In fact, I probably didn't even realize it had a spread collar when I bought it. Although shirts like this I often bought to go with a kilt more than a boat. So, but yeah, just a shirt like this, typically worn with the fat tie knot, or you can get away with it with a bow tie, but with no tie, spread even probably easier. I find it harder to style a spread collar, but the Brits love them, as I pointed out in a previous video. Again, the cable sweater, if you really need a sweater, you can get it like an Irish sweater. This one, instead of a navy, it's kind of a aqua teal overtone, royal blue undertone, however you want to phrase. So it's kind of a marled look instead of a pure navy, although I have some navy ones from the first video from back in January or whatever. And then when we get more into summer, then even lighter weight madras kind of thing. We're, like I said, we're not quite in this fabric yet. This is more June, July. We're starting to really want this really lightweight stuff this time of year. Really pushing it. This color a little light, a little pastel-y for spring, maybe late spring. Again, I'm going more with the steel gray than the light powder blue. Although, like here, another kind of red, white, and blue. What's this one? Another madras. Yeah. Just, generic bean. Back here where I was about to get to what I was just talking about. Again, if you can find something, kind of gray, like these were some ones I picked up several years ago that have kind of an anchor design on them. But typically I'm wearing a shirt over this. And similarly, again, back to the surfer kind of sailor look. Here we got like a shirt with kind of some stripes. Kind of the skater look, but typically a shirt like this I'm just using as an undershirt. But then if I take my overshirt off, instead of just having a plain shirt, I have a shirt with kind of a nautical design. So yeah. But most of the time I'm not wearing a t-shirt by itself. Not quite powder blue, but the crazy shirts did this kind of color blue, kind of an intermediary blue. You can really get away with this again, late spring, early summer. This one has a sailboat motif. Another short sleeve shirt. I typically don't wear short sleeve shirts a lot on their own, but if I do, it will have a big pattern on the back like this, and the whole point is showing off the pattern on the back. I don't buy shirts with patterns on the front very much anymore, and of course the ones with the patterns on the back make your back more sweaty, so I've kind of not. Here's another one, kind of a similar, but boat. Screams nautical, right? Because it shows a boat. And similarly, I showed those dark navy ones already. So getting into, that's fine. I showed these in the previous video, I think, where pretty much anything with stripes you can get away with. This is like a long sleeve J.C. Penney thing, so different people will have them in different qualities, but this long sleeve. So again, for me, you can wear this under something, or you can wear it as sleepwear, basically. And then another t-shirt with just ringer. Literally, I wear this under an overshirt most of the time. Similarly, things like this, instead of a regular t-shirt. Again, all of this kind of chalk blue kind of color is, for me, June. I don't wear this before June. Here's another kind of boat motif thing. This one's super faded. This used to be blue. I don't know how many years I've had this, but this is literally from Mervin's. So this is ancient. But, the Hawaiian thing, again, very June, excuse me. But anything with fish, anything with boats, that kind of goes without saying. Camp shirts, again, a better than a dark navy for a lot of situations. This kind of blue, another Mervin's one. This one's lasted out way longer than it should have and still actually fits. This one, I think this was Target or JCPenney. Again, we're kind of more in the gray zone, so it's still that kind of June feel. This one, the texture I don't really like as much, so you're supposed to wear a t-shirt under it, but I don't like wearing it with a t-shirt because then I'm too hot, so I prefer to wear my camp shirts without t-shirts when I can, but typically when a lot of guys wear a short sleeve button shirt, they want to wear a t-shirt under to basically catch the sweat. Your results may vary. It depends on where you are, how hot it is, yada, yada, yada. Here's another horizontal stripey kind of thing. Again, perfectly designed to make me, and with it really no tie at all with this collar. really will probably not flatter my midsection, but we'll see how it goes. Similarly, here's another J.C. Penney polo, but instead of red, white, and blue, we've got this. Here we've got the t-shirt jersey style fabric, though, as opposed to, here's a Tommy Hilfiger with a true polo weave. I don't know if you can get in close enough to see that. Yeah, there we go. See that texture? That was what I was trying to talk about in the previous video when I was talking about the rugby shirts. And so this is literally just a true, t-shirt jersey slash fabric, whereas this one has a bit more open texture to it. So you need a little more airflow, a little more breathability. Life is good. Similarly to that, we have seersucker shorts in a very bold. Now, see, if I'm wearing something this bold, maybe I can get away with it with one of those striped shirts, or maybe I'll want just a solid shirt for the top. Don't necessarily want to put a lot of pattern. Don't necessarily want to wear this bold of shorts in April again, maybe May. I wasn't meaning to skip straight to shorts. That just kind of happened because they were next to this other shirt. But okay, so here's a similar J.C. Penney. And this one has a pocket, which typically you won't find in a polo shirt, but these ones do. But here, the very red, white, and blue. The collar being the kind of intermediary. There's a little bit of a knit to it, so it's not just a t-shirt collar. Similar, another camp shirt that looks exactly like those shorts. And this one might not even fit. I don't know. We'll see. So departing from blue are one, like I've been decrying all the teal and the light blue and that for not being truly appropriate. I am, as I said way back in video, like probably 1 or 2 or 3, not a big proponent of menswear in red. I know I've been showing red, white, and blue. In Nautical, you can get away with red. You just can't wash it with any of your white stuff. And we're not talking about any white stuff really yet, because again, we're still talking spring. But so if you get a polo shirt that has more red than blue, it can still be Nautical, but then you're going to put this with blue shirt or blue shorts or white shorts for the contrast. Wearing this with red shorts would be a little bit much. Even those red shorts I just showed would work, but only barely. Red shorts with something like this, maybe that's going to look really Bozo the Clown. This is going to look way better with white shorts or blue shorts. I'm saying shorts instead of pants because if you're wearing polo shirt, some people wear a polo shirt with pants, and then I guess if you're wearing a jacket, maybe, but I don't think it should really be a polo shirt with a sport coat almost ever, more like a polo shirt with a windbreaker. This is just the same thing as that other blue one I already showed, except in red. Now, again, though, I am stressing red, not pink. Pink is a preppy look, not a nautical look. Pink is a pastel. So to me, it's even worse than teal or that aqua foam stuff. I'd much rather see, like a hint of red than a lot of red. But if you're, but this one has red all across the bottom. And so it's a red, white, and blue. Look at me, look. But again, I would wear this with blue shorts, not red shorts. Probably not even white shorts because it already has a bunch of white in it, but maybe white shorts. Similarly, we have this one has gray instead of white. So really could still wear with white shorts, or even red shorts, but obviously blue shorts would be the default. Obviously, you can get gray shorts, but I haven't mentioned gray shorts because gray technically goes with anything, but gray shorts, like really, I mean, I think I own 1 pair of gray shorts, maybe 2. It's not going to be high on my list when blue shorts are so abundant. Should you wear denim shorts as a nautical look? Almost never, barely, no. get some twill ones or get some other kind of fabric. Similar here, they have this color block thing, almost the same shirt, except this company costs way more than that company. I have some of those Orvis ones. I only showed off the one. Some of the Orvis ones had this performance stretch fabric now that I haven't tried out yet, so I don't know if I like it better than the cotton or not. Typically, stuff like that I think just makes you sweatier, so take it with a grain of salt. Similar to a windbreaker, this is a thing that is only a windbreaker. Like you can see, there's literally no insulation here at all. So this is mostly for blocking sea spray, not really blocking wind if it's cold. So if you're in like a humid area, but you're getting splashed, it's kind of more of a splash guard. I already did a whole video on windbreakers. Any of the sporty jackets or the what are called the Harrington jackets or whatever would be pretty acceptable with Nautical. I had shown a green one and I think I showed my blue one. So obviously blue would be better than green or khaki. And I don't know what other colors. Certain companies will have red ones. Other companies will have less. Like I think, like I said, in the members only, I think you're pretty much just going to find gray most of the time. Whereas some of the more expensive brands, you'll have more of an array. So if you really want a red jacket, again, I wouldn't wear the red jacket with the red shirt. I would wear the red jacket with the shirt with the blue that had a little bit of red. Same rule applies. Because we are going for, because that's what I was saying in the previous video. Nautical is seen as kind of a boring look, but if we are going to add other colors, we want them to be as high contrast as possible most of the time. That's why it's very stark white against navy, not mushy, gentle transitions very much. Like I said, you can get away with a little bit with gray and the blue, kind of a little bit of a transition, but like a blue and a pink, it has to be very bold, very sharp, or it just won't work correctly. It'll look more hippie than boaty, I guess. Similarly, also, okay, finally getting to pants, and I got through almost everything else. Finally, again, going back to what I was saying about jeans in the previous video, cargo pants will look definitely blue collar, but here we have cargo pants that are essentially khakis, flat front, flat pockets. This is not technically office casual anymore. This is casual, but if you're at the beach and you want to wear cargo pants or cargo shorts, they would go with most of those shirts, not necessarily all of the shirts. Some of the shirts, like the Eddie Bauer ones, would be too dressy for cargo pants. Whereas any of the camp shirts you could wear with cargo pants, almost any of the polo shirts you could wear with cargo pants. The Madras shirts, the seersucker shirts, all fine with cargo pants. Then going up a step, you have regular chino or khaki pants, even though they're not khaki in color. Again, here I'm going to stress, like I said way back in one of my earlier videos, tan khaki does not go with everything. I know a lot of guys love to wear tan khaki pants with a blue blazer, a navy blazer. I don't care for that look so much. I would almost always opt for a true navy. They don't have to be pleated front, but again, the dressier shirts, you probably want the pleated front. For the more casual shirts, you can get away with a flat front, but we're still elevating from the cargo pants, even though the cargo pants are often going to be the same material. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could remove the cargo pockets from the pants and nobody would know. They would think you just had flat front chinos, but that would be a lot of work and probably leave goofy stitch holes. So you can buy a separate pair of pants. Again, coming into summer more, you can get away with like a lighter mid blue. I have some that are even more faded than this that I'll save for the next video. Here we have again, we're going for a very sharp contrast if we're wearing something like this most of the time. If you wear this with a lighter blue shirt, though, it'll make a little bit more sense. Pardon me one second. This and this makes an okay combination because the white The white adds the contrast. But if I had a solid of this, I probably wouldn't wear it with this. That would look like a almost like a McDonald's uniform, but in blue, you know. And similarly, here's a pair of cargo shorts that are a little bit darker than that. And this is acceptable with, again, most of these things. But do I want to wear this blue with a true navy? Not usually. If I'm going to go with this, I want to commit to something that goes with this, whereas this goes with most of it. And then here we got little anchors because, again, nautical, almost anything with anchors is acceptable, depending on how poorly the anchors are done or how well. These are not pleated in the front, but typically printed casual shorts won't be pleated, but you can get pleated shorts if you want a little dressier of a look. If you're, I guess in Florida, you know, I don't know how many places where people really adhere to that kind of thing. I think I talked about that in a previous video. It's similar to the tan khaki pants. And then, what are these? This is just a LL Bean pair of navy shorts. So. And these are not pleated. Not pleated and just have a button pocket. So just another casual short. And that is a slightly different twill texture, but still just basically a twill. And lastly, again, the preppy look, but a rowing chevron. You can get a vest or a sweater of this. And that color, again, fine for the cooler months. And then white, of course. These are just cheap cotton ones. But they also come in wool, but I live in California, so not going to get a lot of use around here, unfortunately, even though I like the look of them more than necessarily a generic sweater, especially. Again, it's rowing, not sailing, but it's passable nautical. So that was really long and a lot of clothes to get through, and hopefully this video will edit correctly.